Hey, everybody. OGG, overt, go green. How's it going? I'm doing good, and I hope you are too. Coming at you with a deck tech today, and before we get to it, I got 3 questions for you. 1, do you like creatureless decks? 2, do you like burn decks? And 3, do you like decks that are so oppressive you'll very rarely get a chance to win because your opponent will just be driven to quit after you break them? Man, if you answered yes to all those questions, this deck is for you. I call it Arcane BURN-Bardment, and it is based around 1 card and 1 card only. Arcane BURN-Bardment is based around this guy right here, this 6-mana enchantment, red 4. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, including your opponent's turn, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard, then copy each card exiled with Arcane Bombardment. You may cast any number of the copies without paying their mana cost. This has a stacking effect. So if this is on the battlefield and you cast a sorcery, it copies a random sorcery or instant in your graveyard. If you cast another one, say during your opponent's upkeep, it copies a new sorcery or instant from your graveyard, and the one it previously copied is also cast for free, in addition to the spell you just cast. This card is so oppressive, it is crazy. I mean, it is nuts. So the whole deck's based around this, and you might say, well, this is a 6-mana do-nothing enchantment. It isn't. It isn't a 6-mana do-nothing enchantment. Usually it's coming down on turn 5, and it's doing something. I'm casting a 1-mana spell. Maybe one of these 4 Play with Fires. My 1 copy of Consider, 2 copies of Fading Hope. These are good because they stretch the game a little bit. I got 2 copies of Royal Eruption in here for some more burn. I got 1 Igneous Inspiration, and it learns to find all the usual suspects. 2 Environmental Science, 1 Teachings, 1 Start from Scratch, 1 Intro to Annihilation, and 2 Mascot Exhibitions. All of these go into your graveyard after you cast them and can be copied by Arcane Bombardment. I have 1 Valakut Awakening, just a card draw engine, 4 Prismari Command. Card does a lot of things. I love cards with modes. When also, speaking of cards with modes, Maestro's Charm, just another great card to stack them effects up. It always seems to work, right? I got 3 big score, and we're gonna fix this right now. This should be 4 big score, and apparently I don't have 4 big score. Well, whatever. I'll use a wild card on it here in a second. It's a common. You should be 4 big score and 2 unexpected windfall. They're the exact same. Just this one costs double red, so there's no reason not to be 4 and 2. But this effect, hopefully triggering on turn 3 from a Prismari command, or even if it is on turn 4, it gets us the treasures to get to turn 5 Arcane Bombardment and have 7 mana on turn 5. We got 2 Burn Down the House, which is sweet to copy over and over. It just board wipes them, or makes 3/1/1s over and over and over. Magma Opus, make a treasure on turn 2, gives us that little bit of ramp, a little bit of mana fixing we need. Does all the things we want it to do. As for land, I have 4 Blightstep Pathway, 4 Clearwater Pathway. I only have 2 of these pathways. As you can see, I don't have more, but they work. It works. Obviously, if you have 4, you should play 4 of them, but I don't. 1 Sokazan, Crucible of Defiance. Just a way to maybe channel. 5 Mountains, 2 Swamp, 1 Adawara, the Soaring City. Just another possible bounce is something that's really problematic for a turn, maybe. And 4 Islands. And that is, oh, I also have one, you find the villain's lair. This is another modal card that I find fantastic. And one Professor Onyx. And the reason she's in here is because any spells copied by Arcane Bombardment are technically cast, as per that last sentence. You may cast any number. So when you cast them, Professor Onyx just goes off and goes nuts. And it's nice to have a one of, just like a one of Igneous Inspiration, a one of you find the villain's lair. Because of the deck has so much draw power in the form of Consider, you find the villain's lair, Valakut Awakening, Prismari Command, Maestro's Charm. Well, Maestro's Charm's not drawing, but it digs you 5 cards. Unexpected Windfall and Big Score draw you cards. And, you know, at high mana, Magma Opus draws you cards. But this deck is, I've tinkered with it a little bit, maybe a lot. And this deck is just so oppressive to the opponent. Like, I don't think there's been a game where I've played an Arcane Bombardment and lost. That's all just soul-crushing this card is. Really, really nuts. Really, really crazy how this card can just... It almost feels like your opponent, like you're playing against Sparky, the little demo bot at that point. Anyway, this is the deck. I'd love to hear your thoughts before I get to the gameplay videos. I'd love to hear your thoughts, suggestions, wonderings, right? All that. Leave a comment below. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Otherwise, as you know, this is OGG. Out.